Hi, everybody. Welcome to Thursday, February the 4th. Today, what I'd like to do in our class is I would like to talk to you about the case study assignment that I assigned in class on Tuesday. And I want to talk a little bit more about that assignment. And I also want to take you back into Chapter 8, this delivering of unfavorable messages, and help you stay focused and try and get into that mind frame of what it's going to take when you deliver that unfavorable message, everybody. So again, what are case studies, everybody? I mentioned it briefly in Tuesday's class, but I want to reiterate to you exactly what a case study is. So they're exercises where you, the student, are faced with some sort of a challenge, and you have got to read and interpret the data that's been given to you, and you have got to compile written messages conveying that bad news situation. Okay, and please note that these case studies typically will simulate some sort of real life experience. And as you go through the business program, you're going to be faced with more case studies as you go along. So this is sort of a let's get our feet wet and get used to working within that case study scenario and having you interpret the data that is presented to you. So what I did, everybody, is I have uploaded the instructions into Blackboard under the Assignments tab. But I just want to go through what I'm looking for here. So if you want to bring that assignment up in Blackboard, we'll go through it together. So again, case studies are exercises where you, the student, is faced with some sort of challenge applicable to the business community. Again, they often simulate real life scenarios. For this assignment, you must interpret the data, the information that's given to you, and compile written messages. So in the textbook, everybody, Chapter 8, The Delivering of Unfavorable News, on page 286 of that chapter, you have been assigned case study number 7. So for this assignment, everybody, you are going to take on the role of a member of the organizing committee for New Horizons in AI, their conference on AI and neural information processing systems. Okay, so you work for the organizing committee of that company. Chances are you work for that company as well, and you are going to take on that role. As you read through the situation, everybody, that the conference committee is now facing, your role is to compose four written messages to the persons affected by the government's decision to deny visas to select conference presenters. Okay, 4 messages, everybody, I'm looking for. The 4 messages that you're going to compile are as follows, or compose, I should say. You're going to compose an email that will be sent to all conference registrants. So everybody that's planning on attending this conference, advising them of the change of in-person presenters to live streaming of those presenters. Okay, so people that were due to come to the conference and speak live, they've been denied visas to come into Canada for whatever reasons, and now they're going to be live streaming it. So you have now got to compile a message to all conference registrants advising them of that. You are going to compose an announcement, message 2, an announcement that's going to be posted on the conference website. Okay, so your first one is going to all conference registrants advising them of the change. Message number 2 is going to be an announcement that's posted on the conference website. Message 3, you're going to compose a general announcement that's going to be posted at the conference center, advising people of these live streaming sessions. Okay, you're going to have to come up with names and times of these sessions. So you need to be a little creative here, everybody. Their names have to correspond to the nationalities of these individuals, okay? So these are African individuals. They may be living in the States. They could be living in Europe, okay? But by birth, they are African nationals. And you need to come up with names 4 names, pick 4 names and 4 times that you're going to put on this announcement. Okay. You also, so that was message 3. Now message 4, everybody, is you need to compose an email that's going to be sent to the employees and stakeholders of New Horizons in AI. Okay, so all of your fellow employees, stakeholders as well, advising them of the change that's going to be taking place with the conference. Okay, so 4 messages, 4 separate messages you need to send out. So you must compose those messages in Microsoft Word. And once you have completed all 4 of them, and I want them on one document. Okay, so page 1 could be your email to conference registrants. Okay, page 2 is going to be your announcement that's posted on the website. Page 3 is going to be your general announcement that you're going to post at the conference center. And then page 4 is that email that's going to be sent out to all employees and stakeholders of New Horizons in AI. Okay, so 4 pages, 4 messages in total, everybody. What you're going to do when you're done that is you're going to go into Blackboard and you're going to upload that document, that one document with 4 messages, into Blackboard, and it will load up into my marking system from there. The due date, everybody, for this assignment is by 3:50 p.m. So that's our class time, Thursday, February the 11th. Okay, so I've given you just over a week, or now it will be a week to complete that assignment. Okay, so what I want you to do, everybody, is this is just not something that you can read through once. Okay, I want you to read through it many times, and I want you to take a red pen or a highlighter, okay? And I want you to highlight the important information that's coming through on that, okay? These people have been denied visas. You now need to contact people and let them know we're too close to being to canceling the conference. That's not an option. This conference is going to go ahead as scheduled, but we need to make some changes to the delivery of how that conference is going to be portrayed for people. Okay, so what are you going to do? You're going to read through chapter 8 again, and I'm going to spend the next couple of videos going through some important information that I want you to pick up on for chapter 8. Okay, and then from there you're going to compose these messages, everybody. Okay, so again, case study assignment is now loaded into Blackboard. Make sure you take a look at it. You've got 1 week to complete it. Okay, and it is revolving around chapter 8. So once you've got that all sorted out, everybody, and you know what you're going to do, it's on page 286. Let's go back in time, okay, and let's review some of the important parts of chapter 8 that you need to be aware of when you deliver this message, these messages. This assignment, everybody, the case study assignment, okay, worth 10% of your final mark. So this has some weight to it. And I need you to understand the validity of these case studies because you will be working on them as you go through in this business program. Okay, so back to the beginning, everybody. Let's take a look again at chapter 8. I want to highlight some of the information for you as you go through with this assignment, everybody. So remember back in the day on page 252, that case study that we took a look at, that very beginning part of chapter 8, everybody. Let's review that, read that case study again. These are the people that were affected by Maple Leafs, okay, a big food company here in Canada. They were going to be opening up 3 new plants in Ontario, which is great for those 3 cities that had been selected. But in the interim, opening up these 3 over here, but there's this one major one over here that's going to be closing, everybody. And what's the impact going to be? Yes, some people from the big plant can move over to the 3 smaller plants, okay, but not everybody's going to be eligible to do that. And what is the impact going to be? And now you've got to compose those messages, or the person from Maple Leaf had to compose the messages to the people to let them know about this humongous or huge change that's coming through. And how do you do that successfully? Because you're dealing with people, everybody, you're dealing with emotions, okay? And emotions can run very high, right? People have bought houses, they've got mortgages, they've got brand new cars based on the job that they've got, and now they might not be able to afford those new vehicles or afford their home, okay? So how do you, as the person from Maple Leaf Foods, portray that, get that message across, okay? So when we deliver unfavorable news, everybody, on page 253, we have those goals, right? The primary and secondary goals of the person who's now got to compose these messages. And I want you to really focus on those as you work on this assignment, everybody. So some of the primary goals that we need to be aware of or conscious of, okay, when we deliver unfavorable news, we need to give that bad news in a clear, brief, and respectful way, okay? And you want to only state it once. This is the problem, okay? This is what's happened. And now how are you going to deal with that as an organization, okay? You want to help readers accept that bad news by showing fairness and logic of the decision, okay? Offering an explanation when it is possible. So let's keep those 2 points in mind as we think about that case study assignment, okay? You want to maintain and build goodwill, okay, towards the reader, okay, and the organization. So we want to build goodwill. We want these people to continue to come to our conferences that we may hold in the future. And you want to build that bridge, right, that goodwill towards that. Some of the secondary goals, everybody, at the bottom of page 253. You want to balance business decisions with sensitivity to those readers, okay? People that are reading your message, by putting yourself in their shoes, okay? How are they going to feel? How are you going to feel if you were that individual? Okay, you want to protect yourself and your organization from any sort of legal liability, everybody, right? So we need to focus on the goals of this delivery of unfavorable news, everybody. And how can these goals apply to that case study assignment that you have now been assigned? Okay. They go onwards on page 254 to talk about tone, which is probably one of my most favorite things, and I take it with every message that I get. The tone, especially in your bad news message. What is the tone of the writer? How are you going to get across this bad news or unfavorable news? And you'll remember, everybody, on page 255, we took a look at 3 different scenarios. We took a look at positive subject lines, neutral subject lines, and negative subject lines. And I'm all about the positive. Try and find the positive in a situation, okay? So make sure that you read through those, everybody, as you compose your messages for this assignment, which again, everybody, is worth 10% of your final mark, okay? So we've talked about the goals of your bad news message. What are some of those goals that you got to keep in mind? And then we've also talked about tone, everybody. And really, when you're delivering any kind of message, the tone is so critical in any kind of message that you deliver. Okay, it's all about the tone. All right, so the next video coming up, we're going to take a look at a few more parts of Chapter 8 that I want you to be aware of. And then towards the end of these recorded lectures, I'm going to share with you a unfavorable bad news message that came out recently at the college, and I want to share that message with you and show you how a message can be composed. Okay, so thank you very much, and I'll be back with video 2.